Right then, everybody, welcome to my Extra Time Podcast again. So we're going to be previewing this one, the Leagues 1 and 2 games ahead of this week's match day. Obviously, in yesterday's episode we talked about the Championship match day, predictions and preview, and we're going to go through Leagues 1 and 2 in 15 minutes of this, and run through each fixture and get it sorted. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into it. So we're going to get into the first League 1 match of Saturday. There's plenty of games on show on Saturday in League 1. And we start off with Northampton versus Blackpool. It's 2 o'clock kick-off, and the reason why it's 2 o'clock kick-off is because Northampton rugby team are kicking off at 3 o'clock and it causes traffic. But anyway, both sides, I think I'm going to go for Blackpool in this game. I think Northampton, they got a good winning against Gillingham the other week. And it's a case of them now trying to build on that under Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and whether or not they can really kick on and improve. But I think Blackpool, they've got a good group at the moment under Gary Bowyer. I just think they have a bit too much in hand, and I think they'll win this game 1-0. It'll be a tight game, but I think Blackpool win it 1-0. So moving to the second game, it's Bristol Rovers. They host MK Dons. Both sides have been a bit inconsistent recently. Obviously, MK Dons drew with Oldham 4-4 last Saturday. What a game that was. Goals galore. Brilliant game. Bristol Rovers haven't been doing too great, not been doing too bad either, but it's going to be a tough game. I'm going to again go for an away win, just on the fact that I think MK Dons can prove that they can score goals, but keeping them out's a problem. So I think there'll be plenty of goals in this game again, but I just fancy MK Dons to edge it 3-2. I think they're going to have a bit more in hand going forward. I just think they'll catch Bristol Rovers napping, and I think it'll be a tight game with a 3-2 away win. So into game 3, Bury Doncaster. I'm going to side with a home win. So moving to the next game, it's local London derby. Charlton host AFC Wimbledon. I'm going to again go over home win. I think Charlton are playing some fantastic stuff this season. Really doing well. Got a good result against Bradford Saturday. Kept a clean sheet up there as well. It's not the easiest place to go at all. Against the Wimbledon side, who are kind of struggling in my opinion. It's going to be a hard season for them, a long season as well. They lost to Plymouth Argyle last Saturday as well, so it wasn't the best result they could have got in terms of side. They hadn't won in 12 games, I think, prior to that. So I do think it'll be back-to-back defeats for them, and I think they're going to come up short against the Charlton side, who will win 4-0, in my opinion. Don't really go for a member in that. And against a Fleetwood side, who are just not too far to play off places themselves. It'll be a very tight game. Fleetwood have been inconsistent this season, whilst Oxford are not doing too badly. They're getting results when they need to. However, they can just really brush up defensively. They do leak a lot of goals. 2-3 draws against Rotherham at home and Charlton at home signify that they need to really tighten up defensively if they really want to push on and try and get anyone near the top 6 this season. Maybe even top 2 at a push. But I'm going to go with an away win. I think Oxford have got enough. It's a very tight game. It's actually a hard one to split, but I just like the way Oxford are playing at the moment. And I think they're in a better bit of form. And I just think they're going to get one over Fleetwood here. Much like Fleetwood, it'll be a very tight game, but I see Oxford winning this game 1-0. So moving into the next game, Oldham Scunthorpe. This could be a very tight game. It could go either way. Richie Wellens has done really well since coming in. First game in permanent charge was a 4-4 draw against MK Dons, so it wasn't the worst result to get under your first game underway in. Against the Scunthorpe side, they ain't playing too great either. Not doing too bad though. They got a good win Saturday. And I do fancy Scunthorpe to win. I think this will be a very tight game, and it could go either way. It could go either a draw or an away win, even a home win. I'm not too sure, but I'm going to go with Scunthorpe. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. It'll be a very tight game, and I think Scunthorpe will just have a bit more in hand to go and edge out the win. So moving to the next game, Peterborough host Shrewsbury. This will be a very tough game for Peterborough. They're coming against top of the league in Shrewsbury, playing some fantastic stuff. 37 points now, still unbeaten as well. They won again last week. I think it was against Fleetwood. They got a late goal for Enziala at the end. And it's just a case of whether Shrewsbury can keep this going. Many people are writing them off saying they're going to fall away this season, but I personally don't think they will. Coming against a good Peterborough side who ain't doing too badly, have kind of stagnated. They lost against Scunthorpe last week. Kind of stagnated in terms of the way they're playing at the moment. And it's just now whether a case where they can get some form going and really try and push up the table. And I do fancy Shrewsbury to win this game. I think they're a good side, and I think they'll edge it 2-1. Moving to the next game, it is Plymouth versus Rochdale. This will be a tight game again for both sides who are looking to try and get 3 points, to try and get a big 3 points as well in terms of keeping tabs away from the relegation places and mid-table finish for them. I do fancy Rochdale to win this game 1-0. I think Keith Hill's a very good manager, well organised, well-drilled side. Although Plymouth beat Wimbledon last week, but I just don't think they're going to bounce to make back-to-back wins against the more streetwise Rochdale side who know how this league works. They've got some good players, and I think the fact they're a bit more streetwise and have that know-how of how to win, they'll win this game, in my opinion, 2-0. So into the next game, Portsmouth host Bradford. I think I'm going to go with an away win in this game. Bradford are playing some good stuff at the moment, as well as Portsmouth as well. But Portsmouth did lose last week against Blackburn and got beat quite comprehensively and quite easily. And Bradford did lose against Charlton 1-0. But I think Bradford, the way they play on their travels at the moment, they're a good away side. Away from home, they're quite dangerous in particular. And I do think they'll win this game 2-1. Portsmouth will cause trouble, but I just think Bradford's away record speaks for itself, and they'll win this game quite, it'll be tight, but quite 2-1. So into the next game, Rotherham versus Gillingham. A home win for me. Rotherham have proven against the side towards the bottom of the table at home, they score a hell of a lot of goals. Five goals against Oldham, I think another 5 against Walsall as well. So they've proved they can score goals, and their home record's really keeping them where they are at the moment in and around that top 6. It's all down to their home form. Away from home, they need to try and get a bit more. 2 wins away from home this season. They need to try and get a couple more better results on the road, but I do think they'll wallop Gillingham here 4-0 as well. As I said before, against the bottom teams at home, they've really scored a lot of goals. They do score a lot of goals at home. They're a good side to watch at home. And I just don't see Gillingham really get anything in this game. It'll be a hard game for them, and it'll be a comfortable Rotherham home win. So into the next game, Walsall host Southend. This is an interesting game, really. Walsall haven't been playing too bad, and so has neither has Southend either. Southend got a good win Saturday. I'm not too sure. I can't remember how Walsall did Saturday. I can't remember in particular. I think they beat Doncaster 3-1. That was it. Yeah, Ern Oztum scored 2 wonderful goals as well. He's had to keep it down on both occasions. That was a big result for Walsall in terms of trying to secure mid-table safety this season. And Southend will want to be looking towards the playoffs. Not too far off. They currently sit 13th in the League One table, so that's not all too bad. And I think I'm going to go for a draw this game. I think both sides are in relatively good form, but I think both sides are quite similar in the way they play. And I just think it'll be a draw. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Both sides concede goals, but can score, and it'll be a goals galore 2-2 draw. Desmond Tutu. Right, the final game in League One is a fantastic game on paper. Wigan host Blackburn, 2 sides who were really Championship teams last season and Premier League teams not too long ago either. And it's mad to see how these two have fallen into the depths of English football and currently apply their trade down the 3rd tier. Wigan are outstanding this season, really dominating this league. I think they'll definitely go up this season. Kenny Jackett, I heard did say when Wigan played Portsmouth that they were the best team Portsmouth have played, and they'll probably walk the league. Blackburn are starting to get going now after a slow start, and I can see Wigan winning this game 2-1. It's a very tight game, but I think Wigan, just the way they're playing at the moment, their home form and away form has been outstanding this season, and I just think they have a bit too much in hand for Blackburn, who've not been too amazing this season, but are starting to get a bit of form going. But when you're sitting second in the table, you've got playing with confidence, so I just think that'll be the reason why Wigan win. So we're going to quickly run through all the League 2 games, starting with the first game, Accrington versus Barnet. I'm going to go for a home win here. I think Barnet are struggling this season. They drew with Yeovil last Saturday, and that wasn't the best result for them. Leak a lot of goals as well, and don't score many. Without Akinde, and Shaquille Coulthurst has been injured for a couple of weeks now. He came back Saturday, but he went down for a bit of treatment during the game. Against an Accrington side during the playoffs, they're doing quite well. And I do think they'll win this game 2-0. I think Barnet will not score in this game, and I personally think that Accrington will solidify their playoff hopes and win 2-0. So into the next game, it's Chesterfield. They host Carlisle. Interesting game for both sides, really. For me, it's got a draw written all over it. Both sides haven't really hit the high notes of what they could potentially be expected to do. Obviously, Carlisle got to the playoffs last year. I don't see them really doing that this year. They've not really convinced me, or really anyone, I don't think, that they can really go on and replicate that form. And Chesterfield currently sit at the bottom of the table, kind of cut adrift after a defeat against Cambridge last Saturday. So they really need this win to keep tabs on the teams above them, because they lose this game as well and the teams above go on and win. It's going to be a real big mountain to climb for Jack Leicester's side. And it's be a 1-1 draw for me. I think both sides really will be quite a cagey affair. Both sides won't want to lose this game, and for that reason I think it'll be a score draw. So into the next game, Colchester host Crewe. I think it's going to be another draw in this game. Both sides are not in the best of form. Crewe have had a torrid time recently. Haven't been playing too well. They've got a couple of positive results in between the defeat to Accrington last Saturday, where they had their captain sent off. And Colchester haven't been playing too bad, but again, that could be better as well. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw here. Both sides again can score and concede goals as well. And it's basically really whoever's going to be up for it the most. Both sides ain't in form, and I'll go for another Desmond in this game, 2-2. So for the next game, it's Forest Green home to Morecambe. So this is a huge game for both sides in terms of trying to stay in this division. Currently, both of them, Morecambe sit above the relegation places, and Forest Green are still in the place below them. Forest Green's away form's not been too bad recently. 2 wins against Coventry and got up to Stevenage and 1-2-1 there. And if they want to stay up this season, the home form's got to be better. I mean, in their home games this season, they've been terrible, shipped a lot of goals, not played the best football. And that's where you want to make your home ground a fortress in terms of staying up. You come into a new division. Against the Morecambe side, you've got a good point against Grimsby, courtesy of Storm Bryan as well, helping out, in my opinion. But Morecambe, they need to really worry about what's going on in the pitch. They've got a lot of problems off the pitch at the moment in terms of money and funding. However, if they can get a positive result here, it might just give them a bit of breathing space, and it's going to be a big task for Kevin. Be a big task for Jim Bentley to try and keep them up this season, in my opinion. And I do think this will be a draw again. I've got for 3 draws so far, and I think it'll be a draw. Both sides again. It'll be another 2-2, in my opinion. They can both score, but both leak a lot of goals as well. And for that reason, I'm going to go with another 2-2. So next game, it's Grimsby versus Cambridge. I'm going to go with an away win in this game. I like Cambridge this season, playing some good stuff. The likes of Giovanni Brown, when they play him, they really seem to click. And Grimsby they're not playing too bad. They got a draw against Morecambe, but could have really improved on that, in my opinion. So for that reason, I'm going to go with an away win, 3-1. So moving to the next game, Lincoln host Crawley. I'm going to go with a home win for this game. Crawley got a good point against Luton, but I think they're going to struggle against a good Lincoln side who are playing quite well. I'm going to go with a home win, 1-0. So moving to the next game, Luton Coventry. I'm going to go with a draw on this game, a 1-1. Both sides looking to try and get promoted this season. It's going to be quite a cagey affair. Luton score a lot of goals. Coventry ain't too bad defensively, but I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. So into the next game, Mansfield Exeter. Again, a potential promotion game this season. I'm going to go with an away win. Mansfield haven't really impressed me too much. Drew with Newport Saturday, and Exeter I think will just do enough to win this game 2-0. So into the next game, Notts County Newport. Be a tight game this will as well. Just personally think I'm going to go with a home win, a 2-1. Both teams playing quite well in the playoff places and promotion places this season. It'll be a tight game and I'll go over 2-1. So moving into the next game, Port Vale Swindon. I'm going to go over an again home win. Port Vale and Neil Aspin have revitalised. 3 wins on the spin. Tom Pope scoring for fun. Against the Swindon side, they haven't been playing too great recently. Struggling to get some solid form going. They won on Saturday against Carlisle. I think it was Carlisle. No, it was against Wickham actually. So they're not playing too bad, but I just think Port Vale will win this game 1-0. So into the next game, Wycombe-Cheltenham. Interesting, really. I do think Wycombe will win this game. I've seen them play this season. Gareth Ainsworth's got a good side down there. So it'll be a tight game, but I just think they're playing quite well. Cheltenham ain't doing too bad either. It's just a case where they can add to it and keep on going and getting some positive results. But I'm going to go over Wycombe 2, Cheltenham 1. So moving to the last game, Yeovil-Stevenage. I'm going to go over a draw on this game as well. Stevenage lost to Forest Green at home on Saturday. That's not the best result for them in terms of trying to push on into the top half of the table. And Yeovil already struggling this season as well. They've got a good point against Barnet, some may say, but it's really not enough against your relegation rivals in terms of trying to stay in this league. These are the type of teams where you look at and try and get your points from, and it's not really happening for them, in my opinion. So yeah, guys, there's my Leagues 1 and 2 EFL Match Pack preview. So if you do like that, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. And we'll be doing the matchday vlog tomorrow against Bolton Wanderers. We'll be giving my matchday experience in that as well, so keep your eyes out for that tomorrow evening. And yeah, see you on the next one, and goodbye.